Well, what a chapter. Like, to the Sanji reveal with his Germa 66 raid suit, to finding out that Big Mom has lost her memory. What a chapter. It's certainly gonna cause a big discussion in the One Piece community. Oh, yes. So, I guess, let's get into the Big Mom stuff. I have heard already, since the chapter technically is usually out a couple days before I get around to it, because, well, you know, I'm now going to be reviewing the Viz Media chapters that come out for Shonen Jump, but I have heard many complaining about the chapter, mainly the whole ordeal with Big Mom and her losing her memories. I understand why people are upset with Big Mom losing her memories, because it is a common cliche to use in manga. Like, to completely write a character, alter their memories, like, completely just remove them, it's an easy way just to cause conflict. I've seen it happen even, really good series, like, Seven Deadly Sins. Diane, losing her memories. And in this case, I see why people are upset with Big Mom. However, people need to look at this a little bit differently, and look at the grand scheme of things of what's going on here. Big Mom has lost her memories, yes. But we also gotta remember, even though she has lost her memories, does not mean that she is not a threat. Let's think back on the main homeland of the Giants and what she did. She was technically an innocent child. She was just a little child that wasn't raised right, and she wasn't evil. She wasn't. You can go back and look at Big Mom's backstory yourself and find out that she wasn't evil. She just did not know good from bad. She had no idea. She had no idea what really was good, what was bad. She wasn't taught right. And she had this illness to where she would have hunger pains. And she would go berserk. This was something that was shown in her childhood, which was very relevant in Whole Cake Island, and how she went crazy and was chasing down, Capone and all that, trying to get the cake, and that's what she wanted, which resulted in, the big mess of Big Mom's pirates to kind of fell in that arc. And so, Big Mom's always had some issues, mentally, and we know she has an illness as well, in terms of just being hungry. And it's interesting that she wakes up on a beach with no memories, and the first person that really encounters her is Chopper. Of all characters that Big Mom could encounter, it wasn't Luffy, it wasn't Zoro, it wasn't Sanji, it wasn't anybody but Chopper, a part of the Straw Hat crew. Nobody else found her but Chopper first. Which is funny, because Chopper is a doctor. And if there's anyone that could potentially help out Big Mom, it would be Chopper, which, like I said, that's the fascinating part about this, because I think out of the entire lifespan, since Big Mom has been alive, I don't think Big Mom has ever really gotten help, medically. She's never had anyone really sit down and look into her to see what is wrong. And I feel like since Chopper is such a good doctor, and he is studying medicine and all sorts of stuff, I feel like he might know a solution. He might be able to help out Big Mom in some way to where she is not, at the very least, struck by hunger pains to where she goes berserk. He might be able to somehow help Big Mom through that. Maybe not teach her a moral compass or anything of, like, good and bad, but at the very least, he might be able to help out Big Mom to where she's no longer plagued by the illness that constantly drags her down, or her country in general, or the Big Mom Pirates. I feel like that would be the main important part about Chopper meeting Big Mom. But now, let's look at the other part of this. Big Mom being found on the beach, all alone, by herself, is very symbolic. And I don't know how many realize this, but you remember when Big Mom was a child, her parents just left her, abandoned her on a beach, all by herself. And she had basically no food. She ran out of food and all that. She didn't have anybody. Nobody really knew she was there. Eventually she was found, but she was left alone on the beach. It's very symbolic that we see an adult Big Mom that's basically been reset to zero on a beach being found by someone. It's kind of like a what if. What if Big Mom was found by someone that legit could potentially care for her or, give her a helping hand? Because the person that found Big Mom and tried to help her out was Mother Caramel, which we know wasn't a good person at all. So when you look at the grand scheme of things, if she really has lost her memories, okay, and she might not gain them back for a while, maybe this will be good for Big Mom to be able to really learn what right and wrong really is. Because that was the big thing about her character, like the past, like her backstory was that she was an adult child. She was like a child at the age of, isn't she 60? I forget how old Big Mom is. Isn't she 60 or 80? She was somewhere around in there in terms of age, but Big Mom's old. And when you see this, it makes me wonder if Chopper and maybe portions of the Straw Hat crew and people of Wano might teach Big Mom how to truly be a good person. And I know many might be upset about this, because once again, she's lost her memories. But in a lot of ways, it's a very good storytelling device if it's done right. Because it's very relevant to Big Mom. If there's any character I think that suits losing their memory, it's Big Mom. Because she's always had mental issues. It's been common sense. She doesn't even know what really happened to her family/friends in the past, and she's the one that ate them. And she has no idea. And I feel like Chopper might be the one to allow her to gain back her memories of everything. And it's also very funny that she, now not really knowing what happened to her family or whatever, I feel like if she does gain back her memories, she will get the full story. She will remember everything. So that's the thing about this. I wonder if that's what Oda is playing here. Now, here's the thing that people are fearing about Big Mom and why they don't like the aspect of her losing her memories. Because the possibility is open now that she will become an ally to the Straw Hat crew. I can understand that because, well, she's lost her memories. And Big Mom is gullible. We have seen already in some cases when she was a child. When she was a child, she was gullible. And if she has effectively been reset to 0, then she's going to be just as gullible. And I feel like she could eventually grow fond of Luffy and everybody else and help Luffy out against Kaido. And that's what people fear, is that Big Mom would stand up against Kaido to help out Luffy, which would be very different from what we would expect from this arc, because the entire point, or the setup for this arc, was that Luffy and his entire alliance and, the samurai would have to stand up to Kaido to bring him down. That was the entire point. And if you bring in someone like Big Mom to fight Kaido, it kind of unevens the battlefield, because Big Mom and Kaido are both emperors, Yonko. They are super freaking strong. I don't care what you think about Big Mom. You could say she's a joke. You could say her arc is a joke, which you're wrong if you think Whole Cake Island's a joke. But regardless, if you think Big Mom's a joke, then I don't know what to say. She may seem weak, but she isn't. She is not. She really is just, she's mentally unstable, which is what really affects her as a character and why she can't get certain things done. It's actually scary that because of how broken she is mentally, she's still able to get as much done as she has in this series. Which, imagine if she had a clear thought process, what she could do, what she would be capable of. That's what scares me about Big Mom, and I feel like people don't give her enough credit. So, Big Mom being against Kaido, it would uneven the battlefield, where it would be so one-sided, Kaido probably wouldn't stand a chance, because, as we know, Yonkos are supposed to be on the same level. So when you look at this, you're like, okay, I can see why people are complaining about it, but at the same time, it would be interesting for Big Mom's character to go through some development. This seems like a really good step for Oda to develop Big Mom as a character, make her a lot more likable than she was in Whole Cake Island, and dive into what really makes her tick. Because, like I said, she's just a child. She was a child that never properly grew up, and if she had a better upbringing, or she got to see from a different perspective after losing her memories and potentially gaining them back, she will be permanently affected. Even if she gains back her memories, she will have the memories of when she lost her memories, which in turn would affect her personality. So I feel like, in the grand scheme of things, she will change. For the better, probably. So, I am interested on where Oda will take this entire twist with Big Mom, but we'll just gotta wait and see. So let's get into the situation with Sanji. Sanji, he activated the Germa 66 raid suit that was gifted to him. Now this is a very big twist, because here's the thing. Number one, it's shocking that the raid suit isn't a joke. Because when you think about, Sanji and his character, he's constantly taking L's. He always takes L's. Oda always has a joke when it comes to Sanji of how he gets power-ups or gets stronger. And truth be told, even myself included, I thought that Sanji's raid suit was going to be a joke. Either it was going to be very feminine because number one, it's just Sanji, and that's what Oda always likes to do, but also because Sanji's family hated him, and having his raid suit potentially be feminine / like a girl would be very Sanji brother-like. Like that, doing it to him, how Judge is in general, you just think something like that would have happened, but it didn't, which is very shocking. But also, the thing about this too, with Sanji using the raid suit, he got a power-up. And he put aside his pride. And it's a very big moment for Sanji as a character. It shows how he has moved on from the previous arc, Whole Cake Island. And I want to kind of dive into that. See, people said they were going to be very upset if Sanji used the raid suit because it would go against everything. Like, he would, have to use the power of Germa 66 to be strong. But that's the thing, though. See, if Sanji never used the raid suit, it would basically mean that he was never able to move on past his old family, or the Vinsmokes, Germa 66. He would never be able to be at peace with that. That's kind of what it would mean if he never used the raid suit. But with Sanji using the raid suit in this chapter, it effectively means that he has moved on with his life. He no longer cares about Germa 66. He no longer has any attachment or holds on to it as a grudge to where he just won't, have anything to do with them whatsoever. He's willing to just move on. And it shows his character development he received in the last arc, Whole Cake Island, which, like I said, I appreciate. But it doesn't just stop there. Also, seeing how Sanji got Stealth Black, it's symbolic. It's very symbolic for what Sanji was like in the family. Like, let's look at the name, Stealth Black. When you think about the name Stealth, Black, it sounds cool, but it completely goes against what it kind of looks like. Like, it's a yellow suit. It fits Sanji's outfit. But the point is that it goes along with Sanji's theme within the Vinsmoke family. He was always the black sheep. He was someone that was the outsider, someone that never fit in. And having something called Stealth Black fits very perfectly with Black Sheep, but also what Judge thought about Sanji, how he wanted Sanji just to disappear and not even be alive, not even be around in his family, not even to ever be associated with the Vinsmokes. It's fitting that Sanji would get the outfit called Stealth Black. So I find that symbolic. I appreciate that little tidbit from Oda-sensei in this chapter, showcasing that there's just so much more going on with the naming of Sanji's raid suit, but also just Sanji being able to use it and showing his character growth. Now, in terms of the capabilities of what it's capable of, let's talk about the invisibility. So, it has the power to reflect the background and make it where it blends in with the environment. So, invisibility. It's the clear fruit. And it's kind of funny that the one thing that Sanji's always wanted was the ability to go invisible. This was something that he was always wanting. He stated this back a long time ago when he first encountered someone using the clear fruit. He's like, look, I've always wanted this fruit. Now that knowing you have it, my dream is crushed. I can't ever have it. He was really upset. But Sanji always wanted the power to go invisible. And that was the only devil fruit he would ever eat if he was given the chance. But obviously that went out the window. But this was before we found out that devil fruits could come back after, the user dies. But the point still stands, though, is that Sanji effectively meant or thought that like his chance of ever using that devil fruit was gone. So having the Germa 66 raid suit having invisibility goes back to an old little tidbit that Sanji's always wanted. It's kind of like Oda saying, you know what? let me give Sanji what he's always wanted in this series. I'll give him the biggest W that he's ever received, besides kissing him, in Whole Cake Island. It's the biggest W that he's received since then. And so Sanji got a win. He got a big win in this chapter. He got the power he wanted, and also, I like how he has his priorities straight. He's like, you know what, I want to save my friends, even though, we know what he's going to do with it. Like, we know what he's wanting to do with it, and I'm like, I wonder how Sanji's going to use this in the future. I could see Oda potentially using this, but somehow Nami and Robin know about it. They're able to detect it or something. I could just see something happening, which, by the way, let's talk about the suit in general. So, besides just being able to go invisible, Sanji obviously has a little bit more durability. Sanji was always a durable person. He was always strong, durable, and all that, but as we know, the raid suits, they do add an extra layer of strength to the individual. And Sanji did get hit pretty hard by page 1 in this chapter, and he said it hurt a little bit, but it's okay. It was able to keep up, it was able to be completely fine, which shows that it does increase his durability. Also, his, jumping was definitely increased, which fits with Sanji's fighting style. You saw how he jumped way above the town. Like, he was very high up in the air when he jumped with the raid suit, which shows he's able to gain a lot of height all at once in an instant, and then come back down, crashing down kind of like a meteor. I could definitely see this being incorporated into Sanji's attacks, because Sanji's always used fire, and how he gets his entire leg heated up. I could see Sanji heating up his leg, and then jumping all the way into the sky, and then coming down like a crashing meteor with his leg. I can see that happening. I can see Oda incorporating that with Sanji as a character, a new move he learns because of being able to jump as high as he's able to right now with, the raid suit. But also, let's look at another thing, too. Let's talk about how he has a little bit more protection when it comes to the cape. The cape is a shield, so he's able to take up better hits from the back, no damage whatsoever. So I do appreciate all these little add-ons to Sanji's fighting style, which, by the way, speaking of add-ons, Sanji does mention that he's going to talk to Frankie and Usopp about changing the overall design of Stealth Black, which I think is fitting, because number one, if there's one thing you see clearly from this chapter of One Piece, is that North Blue individuals will instantly recognize Stealth Black and know way too much about it and give it away completely. And Law is a perfect example of that. And if Sanji changes the design of it, he will be completely disconnected from Germa 66, but also people that are from North Blue won't instantly be able to know what he's doing and completely give away the surprise. So it's effectively good on both sides. Which, by the way, let's talk about how Law knew everything. It's funny that Law knew so much about the Stealth Black. It reveals that he's a little bit of a nerd when it comes to manga in the One Piece world, but it also shows that somehow Germa 66 really isn't as secret as we thought they were as an organization, for the entirety of the raid suit Stealth Black being explained by Law itself. It's just like, if Law knows this as someone from North Blue, then anyone from North Blue is going to know this. And like I said, it puts Germa 66 at such a disadvantage. I'm just like, where did you get the information on that? It's just like, it's a head scratcher. Now, I like the fight. Can't wait to see where, the fight goes even past this point. So, let's get into Robin's segment. So, Robin, she's trying to find, a poneglyph. Find ancient history, all that, etc., etc. It's always what Robin has been doing in every single arc. And she is investigating the castle and all that, trying to figure out if she can find a poneglyph. And upon her search, she has a group of ninjas pop up and pretty much surround her. And I did read the translation from MS and then read the translation of Viz. Very distinct translations from the dude that's leading the ninjas. In the MS translation, he's like, oh, I'll let you go since it's your first mistake. But in the Viz, like the Shonen Jump English translation, you have it to where the dude's like, I'll give you one chance to give me, your excuse. What is the excuse or why you're in here in the first place? So, Robin has to give up, say an excuse or, have a good story for the reason to why she's in there by herself, searching through ancient records and all that. So, yeah, there's a very big difference between the translations, and I'm starting to see why, I'm glad I switched to Viz Media, because it's It's so much better in terms of translations. It's more accurate, and you're able to get the story a little bit easier. By the way, let's talk about the ninjas. The ninjas, like their designs, they're definitely not throwaway designs. They're definitely going to be very relevant for, this arc, and I feel like they're probably going to be very important fights for a lot of our characters, because we don't really know how strong the ninjas are. We don't know what level they're at, and one of the big things that we know when it comes to, Wano is that the Navy fears Wano, because their power is a mystery. They don't really know how strong they are, how they can compete with admirals or whatever, so for all we know, these ninjas could be on the level of, let's say, CP0, or on the level of admirals. We don't really know. I doubt they're on the level of admirals, okay? I'm just gonna say. But I'm just saying, hypothetically, they could, because Wano's military is a secret. We don't really know how strong they are, and for all we know, these ninjas could be extremely powerful and prove to be a very difficult fight. If I had to assume anything, I would assume the ninjas, if they're not going to somehow turn over to the side of good, for instance, Luffy's side and all that, I'm assuming that Kinemon and all of them, the samurai, are going to have to fight the ninjas 1v1 or whatever to bring them down, because it just seems like that's what Oda's kind of setting it up for. But I think that's pretty much about it. So let me know your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoy my content, please subscribe. If you like this video, please leave a like. And with that, I love you guys. Please be safe. Chibi out.